Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we are going to be taking a look at Master Chief from the Spartan Collection. Now, before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's free, and it really helps out the channel. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy's packaging. So here it is. As you can see, it's pretty standard for what we've been getting out of the Spartan Collection. Nice big window here on the front of the package. Little tiny image of Master Chief here on the side, and then whenever you flip it around onto the back, you've got a nice image of the figure, as well as the other figures that were released in this wave. So pretty standard stuff overall, so let's go ahead and get back to the figure itself here. Now, Master Chief stands at, let's see, about 7 1/4 inches tall. So he's right in scale with all of the other Spartan Collection figures, and then he stands at around 1/12 scale, which is nice for posing with other figure lines, which is cool. And he does come with a ton of accessories. The first ones are already on the figure, and those are his trigger finger hands. You get one for each side, which is nice. Then you also get 2 fist hands, one for each side. As you can see there, those are nicely detailed as well. And then you do get 2 loose grip hands, again, which is nice for posing. And then finally, you get one kind of, I'll call it like a gesturing hand. This could be used for all sorts of stuff. And it could also be used as a trigger hand as well. But very nice that they included all of those. He does have a pistol, and as you can see here, very nicely detailed and nicely painted. And it does have a peg hole on it, just on this one side here, which you can plug onto the figure. So what you're going to do is pull off this little panel on his leg, and you'll see it reveals this little peg. Then you press it back onto the figure, and then you can mount the pistol on the side of the figure, which is nice. Now, one of these little panels is on both sides of the figure, but for the pistol, you will have to mount it this way. Just something to keep in mind if you are posing this figure. Now, his final accessory is this assault rifle. I think this looks really nice. It's got some basic paintwork on there, which I think makes it look nice and really brings out all of the detail that they've sculpted on here. And as you can see, it does have a peg hole as well, which can be placed onto this peg on his back here, which is a nice feature. Now, overall, I think this figure looks really nice. One thing that I have heard some people say is that the paintwork is a little heavy-handed, and I think that there is some truth to that. As you can see on his helmet here, he's got a lot of metallic battle damage, and I don't think necessarily that this battle damage here on his chest looks the best, but I don't think it takes away from the figure either. And especially, I think at this price point, I think that he looks great and comes with a ton of accessories, so I'm willing to live with this overall just because of the price point of the figure. Now, as far as articulation on this figure goes, it's very well done. There are a couple problems, which we'll talk about kind of as we go through, but nothing too major. He does have a ball peg here in the head, excellent range of motion on that. Pretty much anything you could get out of that, really, really nicely done. And then I always love to point out the really, really amazing looking vacuum chrome visor. Really looks awesome on there. Now, he does have a butterfly joint in the shoulder here. You get about 1 click in to help pose when you're trying to bring these big bulky arms across the body, which is nice. Now, as you can see here, there is a ball hinge on the shoulder, excellent range of motion there, but you'll notice that he's missing his shoulder pad, and that's because I popped it off. So the way they designed this is that, you know, it's glued on there and it's a softer material so that you can get a little bit more range of motion out of the shoulders. Just be aware, don't go too far like me and accidentally pop it off. No big deal, you can just glue it back on, but it is a little bit of a hassle that's designed in that way. He does have a bicep swivel there, excellent range of motion there. He's got double jointed elbows, amazing range out of that, especially on a figure with arms this bulky. Then he's got hinged wrists with a swivel, really nice there, excellent range. Then he's got what feels like a single ball peg here in the chest. Not the greatest range of motion, but enough to get the job done. And then it feels like there's another, maybe a swivel or a ball peg down at the waist, but it's almost useless. You can't really get that much range of motion out of it. One thing I do want to point out as well is that on this side, the butterfly joint is slightly loose. Nothing that prevents you from posing the figure or anything, but something that is worth pointing out. He does have T-jointed hips with an excellent range of motion, and as you can see, that kind of highlights one of the other looseness problems on this figure. This hip for me is a little bit loose again. Nothing that's, you know, too bad where you can't pose the figure, but something that is worth pointing out. Excellent range of motion though on these hips overall. There is a thigh swivel in here. You do get a lot of binding between the armor, especially on the back here on these thigh swivels, so they're not the most useful. You definitely have to pose the figure a little bit more to use those thigh swivels. Again, not a huge deal, but something that is worth pointing out. Then he's got double jointed knees with an excellent range of motion, as you can see there. Now I will say that they are a little bit ugly, especially when looking from the front, just because of the way they've designed this, where the center knee pad kind of slips in to this lower knee pad, so it leaves a big gaping hole when the figure is posed. No big deal though, you can hide it with the actual posing. Then he's got hinged ankles. Let me see if I can actually get it to articulate there. Hinged ankles, not a huge range of motion. Let me try on the other side. There we go. Better range of motion here. And then he's got an ankle rocker and then a hinged toe. And then these ones are nice and tight as well, like the cat figure, which helps with posing overall. So overall, what do I think of this figure? I think that it is an excellent representation of Master Chief, especially at the price point. You know, it's not 100% perfect, but this is from the first wave of figures from Wicked Cool Toys. So I think that they hopefully will kind of take the criticism that they've been given in this first wave and kind of make up for it on the next wave. But overall, I think these figures are really well done, especially for that $20 price point. I mean, that's the same as a Black Series figure, and you are getting so much more out of these figures, in my opinion. So definitely recommend this Master Chief 100%. I think he looks awesome, and hopefully Wicked Cool Toys will continue to make more of them. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.